You're at gate B12. The speaker crackles. Coffee steam drifts past a stroller. Suitcases thump and zip, and a row of anxious people stare at a screen that lists Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. You hear someone mutter that it looks random. Why do they call numbers instead of just letting everyone on? Your throat tightens because you're worried about finding room for your bag, being stuck in a middle seat.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right
Or missing the flight if you dawdle. Relax. That confusion is exactly what I hear every week at gates. I'm going to walk you through how the groups are made, what the airline is actually trying to do with that order, and the few practical moves you can make before and at the gate so your trip goes smooth. Think of this like learning how a busy bakery cues people. There's a rhythm and a purpose behind the line, and once you know the steps, you avoid the elbow jostle. Start at home. The easiest way to prepare is to check what your boarding group means for your airline and seat. Pull up the confirmation email or the airline app and find the boarding group or zone number. It's not a mystery. It's the algorithm's output based on fare, class, status, and sometimes seat row. Measure your carry-on if you can. A lot of gate fights happen because people assume a bag will fit. Weigh it, or at least eyeball it against your closet so you don't discover a 45-liter roller at the gate. At the airport, watch the gate display and the agent. If you see priority or first boarding called first, that's your cue if you bought it or earned it. If you're in a middle group, don't line up early and create choke points in the jet bridge. Lining up in the seating area until your group is called reduces the risk you'll have to cram or step over people once on board. Keep essentials like medication or electronics in a small personal item that will always go under the seat in front of you. Why this order exists? Airlines balance three objectives: speed, fairness, and weight/balance. Speed matters because every minute a plane sits at the gate costs the airline money and can cascade into further delays. Fairness matters because premium passengers and families with small kids get priority. Balance matters because some planes and boarding configurations handle carry-ons better than others. Picture a crowded elevator with a single door on one side. If everybody with big suitcases tries to board from the same side at once, the elevator flow stops. Airlines use boarding groups to manage that flow. Here's an everyday analogy. Imagine loading groceries into the trunk of a car at a busy supermarket. If everyone tries to push all the heavy items in first, the driver can't see out the rear window and the car is overloaded in one spot. If you load the heaviest, most awkward items first in an organized way, you save time and prevent last-minute rearranging that blocks the tailgate. Boarding groups do the same, but they're imperfect. They're designed for most flights on average, not every individual passenger's special case. Now the practical trade-offs. If you ignore boarding order and try to push on early, you risk getting stuck in the aisle for 5 to 10 minutes while others stow bags. That's a direct time cost and stress. If your bag is too big for the overhead bin, you risk gate checking it. Gate checking is often free on smaller carriers, but on some legacy airlines it can cost $25, $60, and you'll be separated from your bag until baggage claim. Worst-case scenarios include missing a connection because boarding delays pushed the flight back a few minutes,
or discovering that your carry-on was forced to be checked and your transfer time wasn't sufficient. Concrete numbers help. On domestic U.S. routes, a plane turnaround minute can cost an airline about $70, $100 in operational expense when averaged across the fleet and staff. A checked bag fee typically runs $25, $35 for the first bag, but gate check handling or oversize fees can be $50, $150. Missed connections depend on schedule padding. If your connecting window is under 45 minutes, a delayed boarding that pushes departure by 10, 20 minutes could risk a missed connection and a rebooking that might be overnight. That can easily cost you $0 out of pocket or hundreds if you buy a new ticket. So what's the cheapest, safest move? Take these steps. Choose your seat intentionally at booking. If you want overhead space, pick a seat in the first rows of your economy cabin, or pay for priority boarding only if the premium price is under the likely cost of a checked bag you might otherwise gate check. Measure your carry-on and invest in a compact bag that fits the airline's published dimensions. Arrive at the gate 30-45 minutes before departure, but don't stand in line until your group is called. And if you're traveling with a fragile item or medication, keep it as your personal item and board when your group is called. Exactly halfway through most scripts, I give a short checklist and a quick resource reminder. Many useful links can be found in the description. If this is helping, subscribe for practical airport hacks and quick fixes you can use on your next trip. A couple of industry truths people don't always realize. Airlines A/B test boarding patterns and change them according to aircraft type, route, and on-time performance goals. Some carriers board back to front. Others do window middle aisle to reduce aisle interference. A few use randomized zones to reward faster turnarounds. It's not about being mean to economy flyers. It's about minimizing door-to-pushback time and keeping crews on schedule. Now, the hidden trick you should know? Many airlines advertise free carry-on or free personal item, but then bury the fact that the lowest fares are actually assigned the smallest overhead bin access, or they sell basic economy that forbids you from choosing a seat and places you in the very last boarding group. That's not a mistake. It's a revenue strategy. The way to refuse that upsell or bait? On the booking page, choose the fare that includes your needed boarding priority or select a seat that keeps you in an earlier zone. If the site shows only the cheapest fare by default, click Fare Options, More Prices, or Standard to reveal the model that includes seat selection and a better boarding group. If an agent at the gate suggests you pay to reserve space for your bag, politely say no and explain you paid for a standard carry-on that fits policy. Ask to speak with a supervisor if they try to charge a gate-only fee that wasn't explained at booking. A few more real-world tips. If you're traveling with small children, don't be afraid to board early under family boarding. If you need extra time for mobility, request pre-boarding in advance. For frequent travelers, a low-cost priority boarding add-on that's under $20 can be worth it compared to the risk of a gate check fee. If you're on a tight connection, sit in a forward row of your boarding class so you can deplane faster. A closing practical checklist. Check your boarding group in the app. Measure your carry-on. Pick seat or priority if you need the bin space. Arrive at the gate early, but line up at your call, and refuse any unexpected gate-only upsell you didn't agree to at booking. Those 5 moves will eliminate almost all the common boarding headaches.
If this helped you understand the logic and saved you a gate check fee or a missed connection on your next trip, Please hit like and subscribe for more clear airport advice. Thanks for listening and safe travels.